Hey guys, welcome to Agari and me, with me being Agari and you guys being the me part, you know, just following along on the journey to financial independence. And then also, well, you guys just creating your own reality and just looking outside of the box and realizing that you can do whatever you want. So, let's get this video going. At my local church's 10-year anniversary, it's their birthday bash, and here I have Brian, which is my husband or whatever. The reason why I'm making this video was because this is a perfect time to actually talk about how I'm Christian, Brian's Catholic, totally different religions, but hey, he's here. And I go to mass too sometimes, so why not talk about that, like differences in our relationship. And we're in the street, so it's really loud. Let's go to church first and then we can continue this video because we're already late. Okay, so we're actually home now. It was a little too loud at church to kind of record and kind of rude to set up a camera in front of everyone and just record our video. We're gonna interview him. So like I said guys, today's video I thought it was just kind of like a perfect opportunity because it was like the 10-year birthday bash of my local church that I've been going to for like 5 or 6 years. So that's where Brian goes, and I'm gonna actually interview him. Gotta ask him a couple questions for you guys because like I said earlier, I am Christian and Brian is Catholic. You know, like totally different religions. Not totally different, but like different stuff going on, right? You think it's different?
Yes, I do.
Okay, let's go ahead and do this. So, what was your first reaction to my church?
City Church, where we go now. It's actually really fun. I actually enjoy going there. But before that, Abigail took me to this church, which was kind of awkward and weird.
So I'm gonna explain. So, City Church is more of an American, non-denominational church, and the first church that I took him to was kind of like my childhood church where everyone knew me from when I was a baby and I don't remember who anyone was. It was a Spanish Baptist church. It's more like strict, more uptight, more of the you have to dress up. Not have to, but like most of the people do. It's just different, and City Church is casual.
Due to that, where she took me first, it was really socially awkward, especially because they took me into their little group. And then at that time they separated they separated the boys from the girls. So I only knew Abigail, and then I was taken to like a group with random people that were talking about God in their way, and I kind of felt out of place. And then they were asking about like who I wanted to pray for, and just like very awkward things, especially because coming from a Catholic religion, I'm
they
more
don't really pray for
open. We don't pray openly like that. I mean, in my religion, I feel like I like to be more private. I like how it's done in my side. So that was so weird, and
well, not everyone does.
That was so weird for me. Now if you imagine that, I was like 14, 15 years old. I was like, what?
It was a religion shock.
It was like
not a culture shock. A religion shock.
It was so weird. Then like Abigail was like really happy that I went with her.
Just my youth group that I went to.
And she was like, how was it? How was it after we got back together from where they separated us? And I was like, I don't know. I feel awkward. I don't know what the heck this is. And she got upset. And then I was like, what?
Well, because also he was more closed-minded too at that point. He didn't want to like really have the full experience. He just wanted to think like, this is so weird. It's different. Instead of being like, oh, it's different. Like, let me see how different or why it's different.
But that was my first time. And
yeah,
then,
we were really young.
She's even still pushy up till today.
No, I'm not. This was like 7 years ago. It was a long time ago. We were both children. So what do you think of the experience now? Like your first reaction of City Church?
And once we went to City Church, it was a little bit better. They were more open, and then Abigail let them know like,
oh, Brian's a little different.
I was just like, yeah, you know, and then I just kept doing things my way, and I let her know, I'm like, I'm here just because you're bringing me as a friend, and I don't mind to come, but I don't see this as being of my faith or values and how I practice religion. I was very direct with her with that, and actually it was good because again, this is coming from 14, 15, 16 years old in that time age, and now I'm 22, Abigail's 21, gonna be 22. That just has kept us in a very steady, healthy relationship because we're open.
Because we know takes like from the other person. Like we know they're not gonna be converted or anything. Like we know we're kind of like serious in our faith and how we do things. So it's kind of like, well, I mean, you can always come and we'll see what happens if the Lord touches your heart.
And I feel like coming from a Catholic background, we're more closed off and private. Even my brother-in-law,
So my brother-in-law,
is also Catholic, and then her sister is also Christian. He has even agreed we're a little bit more conservative and sometimes a little bit ignorant to a whole perspective, but then to us, well to me, I practice it the way I understand it and interpret it the best to my ability. I don't like being questioned about things.
Still will be.
I don't mind with Abigail. If it's someone else, because she's my wife, but if it's with someone else, it's like, oh no, you better not talk to me about religion.
Yeah, my thing is just to kind of help him to focus on like understanding his own faith and understanding what he believes in and then understanding why he believes in it. So that's kind of like my project with him. And I know it's kind of like rude to be like, oh, he's a project. Like, yeah, he's a project. Why? Because I just want him to be like, if he's gonna believe in something, he better believe in it. He better believe in it hard, because that's what I do. If he's not gonna believe in what I believe, boy, he better believe in what he believes, like 100%. So that's my thing.
And I do, because I have stick with my values and my beliefs. In a way, Abigail has tried to help me see it her way, which is fine, I understand it, but sometimes I'm like, no. And then she's like, but why? And I'm just like, because. And that's just my answer. We keep it at a healthy distance.
But we talk about it, but I'm not gonna be like rude about it.
Because once we start trying to push our ideology on one another, that's when conflict can start. And it has happened in the past where we're like, why is this getting heated? Like, it was just a conversation, but it's because, oh no, I want you to see it. But then we just come to the conclusion where, okay, I understand where you're coming from. I hope you understand where I'm coming from. Let's just agree to disagree on some things and agree to agree on other things. That's just on, we're not obviously gonna touch on specific points because there is no reason, especially here
that's true,
because everyone's different.
But yeah, just to clarify, the reason why I'm making this video is just to show you guys kind of like how I'm working my relationship with Brian. If you're married, your relationship really determines the way that you think, the way that you feel, the way that you do things, especially financially and really like towards the future. So these are our thoughts like as married and still in a different religion, where we are still trying to compromise and trying to really not compromise our beliefs but compromise our actions. And that's why I take him to church, and that's why I go to church, even though sometimes like I'm like,
nah, I want to go to home, like I already went to church.
But I still do it. Why? Because he wants to do it and it means a lot to him, and because there's sort of fellow man right outside of the church, you know, every Sunday.
And that's just the responsibility we need to have to each other. Like, if she wants to go to her church, I shouldn't be like saying no. If I want to go to my church, like, she should not say no either, because we're both respectful of going to each other's place of worship. Those were the main points that we wanted to cover. As far as experiences as we've had, is they've been good. Like I said, the first ones, that's when we were kids, it was like socially awkward for me. Not so much for her, because I never really brought her to mass.
He did. Whenever I would come to his house, they'd take me to mass, and I'd be like, this is kind of really boring.
Arby, you get triggered, you see?
Guys, I'm a pastor's kid. I get triggered, so.
Oh my gosh. Oh yeah, and Abigail's a pastor's kid, so maybe we should have touched on that earlier. It just adds another element to like our relationship and difficulty and like just what we have to go through. We just thought we'd share it. I don't really like to talk about religion at all, because this happens. She's like,
I am just a little aggressive because I am very forward and I like to be very honest with what I think, and Brian thinks it's mean. Yes, I am that way with everything. So with him, I'm completely honest about religion, about anything that I feel like, and if I disagree with something, I'm gonna tell him, and if he doesn't understand why I disagree with him, I'll make sure he does. Ooh. Okay. That's kind of like the little hardships that we had, because I'm kind of really stubborn about pushing things on him, and I know that I shouldn't, and then he just kind of makes it a point to like say stop and be quiet, like you're being annoying, you know. That's kind of how we work a relationship. That's just us, because we've kind of dealt with being mean to each other in a nice way, and because that's sometimes the only way that we can talk to each other, where we're gonna like truly understand like you're really pushing it. So that's kind of like how we deal with conversations about religion. because I'm usually the one that pushes the conversations, and he's just the one that's like, really, you're gonna do this right now? You should quit it. And then I'm like, whatever, I will. But you're missing out on great convo. FYI.
No. What was your impression of the first time you went to mass with me?
Well, the first time that I went to mass with him, I don't remember if I've gone to mass before. I believe I haven't. I'd only gone to like a wedding mass. It's kind of like completely different. But my first reaction was, dear Lord, take care of me, bless me, protect me from, you know. It's so no, I'm not kidding. I really do. I pray because I feel like every time you go into a different space with different energies and different beliefs, you have to pray to kind of conserve your heart, because they always say like protect your heart, soul, and like mind. You always have to pray just for protection, and you never really know, because there's a lot of people that use faiths or religions as for different purposes. So that's why I always pray. But I pray like everywhere, like going to like wherever I go, like to work or anywhere, like I try to do like a mental note, like please Lord protect me, like please. I know that's kind of rude, but that's what I do. But that was my first reaction. I was scared because like I'm not used to certain features of the Catholic Church, and I'm kind of really against certain features of the Catholic Church. It was just really like, again, like a religion shock. It was just kind of like, I don't get why this is going on, and I don't understand why they're saying that. I was already kind of exposed to their practices because my parents, they were like very like ideological, and they study different religions and stuff like that. So I was kind of already open to those things. I just never like one-on-one experienced like an actual mass before, but I knew things that went on and how it went down.
But it changed her that day, touched her heart. And now I know something new. I'm gonna do the same thing you do now every time we go to your church.
I'm glad, that way you pray, baby. You have to pray.
I do pray. I'm like, dear Lord. I don't want to say anything.
Nice.
You see, like even right now it's like, both sides.
Well, our common ground is basically like, we both believe in God. We believe that spirituality is important. We believe that religion is important, and we believe that practice is important. So basically going to church, praying, stuff like that. Like we think that's important. Whether it's his way or my way, like we each just do it separately. And then so that way we have respect over each other's beliefs and kind of each other's practices. I'm not trying to show off my, you know, knowledge over here. So I just let him do it on his own. But maybe we should start kind of reading the Bible together.
I have my little book.
It's not a Bible.
I never said it was a Bible.
Well, he has like this little daily reading.
Jesus calling book, yeah.
Yeah. He got it for his like first communion. He's like 15 and he's 21 and now he's reading it. What else are we doing?
Was that a passive aggressive comment?
Yes, it was.
Oh my gosh,
it's okay,
you don't have
I don't
to be
read
mean.
the Bible every day.
You don't even read it at all.
But I listen to services and stuff like that.
I love you.
What do you think about my church today? Like now that you go like every single week, what do you think about Almost every single week. We miss because I used to work on Sunday mornings, so yeah.
Nice excuse.
How do you feel about going to church with me now?
I like to go to church now with her because I feel like, again, it just shows her that I care about her. Because for me, I wouldn't go. There. That's my answer. I go because of her.
But also because he likes it. You like it. You said you like how they talk.
Why would I go somewhere that I don't like to be? If we were to go to like some other more like, you know, strict Christian church, I would be like, you go. Like,
no, I'm pretty sure it'd be the same as going to a Catholic church.
Yes, I'd have to end up going for her.
I'm just glad that my church is the way that it is, because that way it kind of opens him up to like, okay, like it's not just the strict this and that. Even though that's how I feel that his religion is, like more kind of strict. I think he thinks it's weird that it's just so free and so open, so he feels kind of weirded out by that, and he doesn't like worship so much because he's just like singing, and to me it's like, oh hallelujah, the worship, and then to him it's like but I make him dance, so it's okay.
But again, it's because I am a private person, so it just falls in line.
It's okay,
with
I
who
was
am.
too. He'll change. Are you gonna ask me questions?
No, because I don't like your responses.
Anyways, so the way that I feel about mass now, it's kind of like I go and I listen to what they say and stuff like that, and I try to see how it relates to my church and the information that I grew up with. And I know that's kind of sucky, but it's kind of like I get my own information too. I don't just base myself off of like, oh, I was told this at like 5 years old and that's what it is. Like, no, I kind of have my own opinions and disagreements with my own upbringing, so it's like I'm not biased at all. I'm just kind of like, what makes sense to me makes sense to me, what makes sense to him makes sense to him, and that's kind of how it works out, right?
Yes, indeed.
And so how do you think this is going to affect us in the future when we have children we have to teach? It won't, because I'm just going to teach them.
We agreed that we each have to do our own part to instill what we want our kids to know.
If there's something important we want them to know, then it's our business and our job to do it. It's not like, oh, well, they have to, you teach it to them. And it's like, nah, I just believe something different. So I'm teaching them this, and they can agree or disagree, just like I agree and disagree with some things that I was taught.
Yeah, something important to me is to have a person think for themselves, not to go after what they're told. That it goes for religion, politics, financial. You can't go off what you're just told. You should be able to interpret something, take in information, study it, look for more information by other sources, both, you know, maybe left or right or whatever, and come up with the decision that best suits your beliefs and your values.
So that's kind of like the quick run through of like kids and our relationship and really how religion affects us, because I mean we do try to make it more of an important part in our life, because I know we didn't for a big part of our relationship.
Yeah, we tried to ignore it, but it wasn't until like we got married and we're like, well, this is a serious thing, now we have to deal with each other, and this is some of our...
We didn't ignore our religions, we just kind of tried to keep it at the lowest amount of conversation possible.
Because it would turn into like, oh my gosh.
And to me being pushy. Not even pushy, it's just me like, but tell me what you believe. Tell me why. Tell me, you know. I still do that sometimes, but even with different things. Like, it's not just religion, like I'm just like that. Like, if to him, like I want to know what he thinks and I want to know why, and it doesn't matter what it's about. It can be like, well, why do you believe to only brush your teeth once a day? I don't understand. Why? Well, tell me, explain. Oh, he doesn't believe that, but like, you know, it's an example.
Nice example.
Or like to me, it's like, why you gotta eat so much meat? You don't eat it. Why? You're like, that's actually weird.
Because it's delicious.
Because I don't eat very much meat. To me, I wouldn't eat unless it was an In-N-Out burger or something. Or Wingstop. I do consider chicken meat, guys. Alright guys, so that's pretty much it for today's video, because it's just kind of like, again, we were just going over how we work a relationship around religion, how it affects us, and how we really like try to compromise, and why he goes to church with me every week and I go to church with him every week, even though that I'm Catholic and even though I'm Christian and he's Catholic. That's pretty much for today's video. And also just because, again, like I said, a relationship really affects the way that you move, that you do things, the way that you live your life. It also affects how you do things financially. So that's why I think it's really important to incorporate our relationship into these videos, because what I'm trying to do is really like open everyone's mind to like different ways of moving and thinking, and just thinking outside of the box and being creative, and just seeing things as realistic, and how everything's realistic, really. Everything is possible. If you think it's not possible, then it's not. And if you think it is, well, it is. I feel like at this moment in life, I've been really stuck on this saying of like, I'm not getting any younger and I'm not gonna get any richer unless I do something about it. Because this is me pretty much putting myself out there, opening myself up to being more honest, and kind of like, guys, everything's online now. Everything is like, you know, camera to face or face to camera. So I want to get used to that, and I want to really be like reaching audiences so that I can like start to slowly like put my ideas out there, and that way I can reach more people. Because honestly, like I said in my last video, my goal is to reach a bigger audience and be bigger, so that way I can share my ideas and kind of see if that way it can help others not have to stick just to the secular way of thinking, just not like, oh, you know, go to school, get a job, da da da. You know, it's kind of like different. I want to show things differently, you know. So I'll be opening more about that and like further videos, so just stay tuned. And my name is Agari, and this is Agari and me. And with you guys being the me part, following the journey to financial independence, and as well as just you guys thinking outside of the box and really seeing the impossible as possible, and just really believing that everything's realistic, everything's possible and reachable, and you can literally do and have whatever you want, you know, as long as you really set your mind to it. Thank you guys for watching. Turn on your post notifications so that you guys can be updated with the next video with maybe him or maybe someone else, maybe just me, you know, because I'm the curious or whatever. Go ahead and comment down below if you guys ever experienced anything like this, just, you know, different thoughts and different ideas with a significant other, your partner, or even a friend or family members. So go ahead and do that, and also like this video, because I mean, like, we're matching or whatever, and we like a cutie couple. But thank you guys for watching. No.